Hello, my dear friends. Good morning and good evening. Gives me a great pleasure to meet with you again in this online series. We have been dealing with various subjects which are very helpful as what I believe and what I perceive that um, many people have shared their positive feedback. And yeah, I also had got certain feedback towards improvement. And we are striving hard. We are trying our best to improve on content and the video. Please continue to support us and comment also in the comment section and subscribe to our channels and get access to our videos. And every possible thing that we are trying to do is to help you to march forward, to help you to taste its success and victory, and help the mankind to be the overcomers. All right. And it is quite possible for all of us to be overcomers, and especially when you go through series of failures in life, when you go through all about errors in life, sometimes you get frustrated. You definitely need someone else to share their experiences, and that itself emerges as a kind of a mentoring session, that you're you're not all alone in this game. You're not all alone in this journey of life, right? Many people go through this, but then you just don't tend to communicate with each other. Therefore, you feel you are the only one who's going through this dejection in life. All right. So welcome to this session where we are going to deal with a very interesting subject today, and a subject where many people always have written to me saying that, hey, the body language is a very, very important aspect in life, right? And to be very clear, we are not going to talk about the body language in terms of straightening your shoulders. It's there is a concept called as dead fish, right? Your hand should not be like a dead fish. When you shake your hand, it should be straight, erect. You should step forward. What it means, we are not going to talk about that. I want to be very clear. We are going to talk about non-verbal communication, the body languages related to the non-verbal communication, right? The non-verbal communication generally means that in which physical behaviors, as opposed to kind of words, are used to express, to convey the information, right? So sometimes what happens is, with the help of one simple sigh, one simple smile, sigh, S-I-G-H, smile, one simple glance, one simple communication in the eyes, you blink, or you kind of rotate your eyes here and there, these are the non-verbal communication where the expression speaks, just like how the words of your mouth speaks certain things, conveys certain things, right? Your expressions shall convey certain things. Such behaviors, or such behavioral pattern, includes things like your facial expressions, your body posture, but we will not get into the details of the body posture. Body posture itself is a different subject. That's why I told you, right? We will talk about that in a different, especially if you're a presenter, you're working in a big corporate industry, and you're in marketing, or you are in the reception, whoever it may be, the body posture is very important, and also the expressions of your face. Today we will be dealing more with the behavioral pattern, and facial expression is one of the patterns, right? And gestures, right? And eye movements, I told you, right? I'm anger in the eyes can be seen, joy in the eyes can be seen, and happiness in the eyes can be seen. There are various aspects, right? So like that, we can also see the the touch and the use of space, right? So many things are there we are going to cover. It's going to be a very interesting session, and all it is about to do with the behavioral pattern, and in a way we are trying to express and convey that these are all part of the non-verbal communications, right? And how does body language work? Is it very important for me to have this body language, and is it so essential? Body language is a powerful form of non-verbal communication, and that consists of the hand, arm gestures, the body position and the movements. Body position and movements, some people, they do like this, and or they will be biting their nails, or they will be doing like this, all this, the hand and arm postures or gestures will tell you either you are so tensed, or you had been thinking of certain things, and you are in anxiety. See, with the body language and postures only, people will be able to guess. That's why it's very important when you attend the interview. you have to show your confidence in your body posture. Don't go and stand like an army lieutenant general, but you should be aware, like, what are the things which will send signals to the interviewer that you are a very tensed person, that you are nervous and you are whatever jittery and all that, right? And eye movements and facial expressions, I told you already. It clues into the other person what you are thinking. And that's where, these marketing people will be very, very careful. Entrepreneurs and all, they will go through specific series of sessions and coaching and trainings, how they should, their facial expression should be there. There could be tensed moments, emotional situations, outbursts and angry moments, and they should be able to handle it all externally, outwardly, because for them everything is all about customers and clients. So they got to be very careful, right? Often, without even you realizing it, what happens is it becomes a kind of a, part and parcel of your habitual practice. Okay, how important is your body language? Yeah, what a role it plays in your life, in every circumstance that you go through in life. That's a very important question to answer. Our body language helps others identify our emotions. I keep telling you this, status, and even our lifestyle and practices, habitual practices, they'll be able to guess correctly. Non-verbal communication plays a significant role in conjunction with the spoken words, as good as the words that proceeds out of your mouth. Sometimes you will speak zero words, yet people will be able to gauge and guess your character. So that's why this non-verbal communication is a very important thing to take note of. Any sign of conflict between the body language and our words can make us appear untrustworthy and deceptive too, right? People may think that you are a kind of a deceptive character, deceiving character, malicious. So how can you tell someone is happy in body language, right? How it is possibly going to be the case? You know, Smiling is an important non-verbal cue to watch for, always, right? So there are different types of smiles, which includes genuine smiles, and some people make fake smiles, and some people make an artificial smile, and where you can easily be able to guess, this guy is definitely smiling for the sake of smiling, and therefore this is definitely not the original behavior. You will be able to make out some differences from this guy, and therefore you will not be able to accept it wholeheartedly, right? And same applies to other people, right? When they look at your face also, smiling is an important non-verbal expression, right? And there are different types of smiles, which we told. A genuine smile language, the whole face, where a fake smile only uses the mouth. That is one way to identify. If it is a fake smile, the guy only will use the mouth, something like that. But a nice smile, right? You will be your eyes will smile, your cheeks, the whole face will react, and all the muscles relaxes, and the person who looks at you will feel so soothing in his heart. And a genuine smile suggests that the person is happy and enjoying the company of the people. That also means a lot, right? And how you can make other person comfortable is definitely with your facial expression, and that's why it's very, very important that you and I need to practice this. Right? What is an inappropriate body language? Many people, negative body language is either a conscious or an unconscious expression of sadness, anger, nervousness, jittery feeling, panicking behavior, impatience, or boredom. You're so bored, something like that, or lack of confidence. Oh, this guy is all, with your eyes they will be able to see that you're not trusting that person. Yeah, it's quite, I cannot enact a drama, but then I'm trying my best to convey everything possible. We can tell a lot about how a person is feeling just by looking at their body language, and it's quite possible. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You need to be keen observer of whatever I'm saying just now. Okay, so the importance of this non-verbal communication is, the way how you look and the way how you move and react, to tell the person you're communicating with, whether or not you care, if you're being truthful, and how well you are listening. And when your non-verbal signals matches up with the words you are saying, they increase the trust. It induces a lot of clarity, and it builds that kind of rapport. So when they don't, for example, the expression is not in sync with your words, they can definitely create a lot of tensions, discomfort, and mistrust and confusions, misconceptions and confusion. So if you want to become a better communicator, without a doubt, it is very, very important to become more sensitive, much more sensitive to not only to the body language. Many people focus on their body language, but then also to the non-verbal cues, cues, right, of others, but also to your own, right? You can't only be a keen observer, but also you need to be an observer for of yourself too, right? Non-verbal communication plays 5 types of roles, and we have to go through that in detail. With that we will close, right? Or we will try to see few more types, right? Repetition is one thing, right? It repeats and often strengthens the message you are making verbally. Sometimes you need to be repetitive in what you're saying. Don't irritate the person telling the same thing 10 times, but then twice or thrice you need, yeah, that's where you need to gauge the person's mood, attitude, and concentration, and you may have to repeat. You repeat non-verbal communication, right? Second thing is contradiction. It can contradict the message you are trying to convey, thus indicating to your listener that you may not be telling the truth, which means this is a disclaimer. You need to watch out, right? And this contradiction thing, sometimes you may need to play a passive role. You need to allow the other person to talk, and then don't immediately jump into contradiction, right? You may have to wait. Substitution is the third role what this non-verbal communication plays. It can substitute, it can be a very good substitute for your verbal message. For example, your facial expression often conveys a far more, vivid message than the words could ever convey the possible thing that you want to convey. Sometimes with one expression, you will be able to convey 1,000 words, right? One picture conveys 1,000 words. It's even applicable to the facial expression. Fourthly, complimenting. Complimenting is the fifth role as part of your non-verbal communication, right? It may add to or complement your verbal message. As a boss, for example, if you pat an employee on the back, in addition to what you had been praising in words, it will increase the impact of your message million times. Sometimes it is, and some people who are of the higher position, they come and put their arms over their shoulders, but if it's opposite gender, don't do that. But yeah, it just put your shoulders over arms over the shoulders. That gives that kind of intimacy, builds that intimacy, right? These are the things which we need to practice as part of the non-verbal communication to, or in other words, to make your communication more effective and sellable to a person's mind and heart. These are the things which we need to practice, right? Assenting, right? Assenting is ASSENTING. It may assent or underline a verbal message. For example, pounding the table, for example, can underline the importance of your message. What I'm trying to say here is like accenting in the sense, you need to sometimes underline the message what you're trying to say, either in a repetitive way or in an emphatical way. Be very clear, slow, and conveyed in such a way that the person had real, for example, he'll be working on laptop, he'll be saying. So you really need to talk very carefully to such people, in an accentive way, therefore he understands, right? One more thing I want to see, there are different types of non-verbal communication about which I gave you a clue. For example, facial expressions, about which we significantly covered. The human face is extremely expressive. We are blessed with that. Dog, how much ever it tries to smile, that's all it can say. It shows its expression by climbing on the owner or licking somebody's face, but we don't have to do any of that, right? Extremely it is expressive, and that's why you will see in the movies and all, actors, they are able to change their facial expressions. In one movie they will play a very sad role, another movie they will play a very aggressive role, and a hero romantic role and all that. Why? Because this face, we have such a blessing that we will be able to convey countless emotions without even saying a word. And unlike some forms of non-verbal communications, facial expressions are really universal, right? The facial expressions for happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear, disgusting, and yaks, something like that, are the same across cultures, right? You don't like something, children especially, right? Very cute, they will make that expressions, right? You put that salt in their mouth immediately, something like that, they don't like it. So you don't have to behave like a kid, but then I'm saying we are blessed with this face, right? And some people, I don't know, they smile, they repent immediately. They don't like to smile, they repent immediately. Why? Smile from your heart, it's good actually. Why? Because this face is full of expressions, I told you. um, if some of my expressions are irritating, forgive me, but I'm trying my best to enact the expressions, therefore you understand how important it is and how other person will feel. The body movement and posture is the second type, of this non-verbal communication. Consider how your perceptions of people are affected by the way they sit, walk, stand, or hold their head. Correct? The way you move and carry yourself communicates a wealth of information to this world. This type of non-verbal communication includes your posture, bearing, and stance, right? The subtle movements. Immediately, one person will just rise up and then he will sit down. It may irritate the speaker, or he will be putting cross legs. Where some people feel it's not a sign of respect, right? Sitting in the front row and crossing your legs may not be the right thing to do. Probably you take the second row. You may have a back problem. Take the second row, right? The third type of this nonverbal communication is gesture. Gesture. Gesture are woven into a kind of a fabric of daily lives. It's like a fabrication, right? You may wave, point, use your hands, finger point, yeah, use your hands while arguing or speaking, kind of animatedly. Some people will make a lot of Europeans, I have seen this, like a lot of animated expressions, nice to watch actually. It adds a lot of liveliness to the conversation, right? Often expressing yourself with gestures and without even thinking. However, the meaning of some gestures can be very different across cultures. I told you just now, European culture, US culture, Indian culture. While the okay sign made with the hand, for example, usually conveys a positive message, right? In English speaking countries, at least, right? It's considered offensive in countries such as Germany, Russia, and Brazil, right? The okay sign made, okay, something like that. If you say, these guys consider it as rude, Russians consider it as rude, but then you say that, okay, okay, boss, done, like, but that is considered as a very friendly sign. So it is important to be careful of how you use your gestures matching to the culture, people, race, and all that, to avoid the misinterpretation. You need to do that little bit of study, right? That is very important. The fourth one is eye contact, right? Eye contact is very, very important. There is a saying, if you have the eye contact with a stranger and it happens to be a girl, for example, you are a boy, and you are having that eye contact for 20 seconds or so, 18 to 20 seconds or so, you have fallen for that girl, you have a crush on her, and you know how that girl will feel. She will feel very, very uncomfortable, and she will definitely try to avoid you. That's not a way to eye contact. Make eye contacts, but in regular intervals. You look and then you look around, and then you look straight and then you look around. So that way you're conveying, you're looking at the eye whenever you want to convey something, right? This is for the opposite gender. Generally they call it as a norm. So since the visual sense is dominant for most people, eye contact is an especially important type of verbal communication. Of all the things which we have seen, gestures and all the things which we have seen, this is very important. The way you look at someone can communicate many, many things. Sideways you look, straight you look, and you look them top to bottom, that conveys that you are a little lustful, you're a flirtish character, right? Somebody will be observing the dress and all that. So that conveys they are envying, right? Same gender envying opposite gender, lustful behavior. What else, right? Many things include, interest, affection, hostility, or attraction. Eye contact is also important in maintaining the flow of conversation, right? You want to keep the conversation active, lively, and you want other person's attention. That means you need to keep looking into the eye periodically, and also for gauging the other person's interest and responsiveness, right? You want to learn you read the other person's mind. He or she can convey in their eyes. That's why you need to keep looking at the eyes, because it can convey about their interest. I have covered all already, right? The fifth one is the fifth. Two more things to go. With that, we will close. The fifth one is touch. Touch really matters. There can be bad touches too, about which I'm not getting into. We all know what is a bad touch, and it can be called as harassment. In corporate world, same gender, opposite gender, doesn't matter, because you need to really know the touches concept a little better. This is not the session. Probably I will take another session. See, we communicate a great deal through touch. For example, patting somebody on the back. Again, if you pat a girl on her back, being a boy or being a adult, a male adult, that conveys a different meaning. But then you can pat another peer or your subordinate. You can pat. It's okay. And somebody catches by the shoulders and they shake their hands, which means they're deeply in touch, which is nice, right? And again, opposite gender, you always need to watch out, because there is a cultural difference. Europeans don't mind, but Indian girls definitely mind. Please be careful. Okay. The Asian girls definitely mind. See, think about the very different messages given by a weak handshake. See, you shake, but the other person gives it like a dead fish, Okay, shake anyway. Okay, please shake my hand. What it means, right? I'm least bothered about your relationship, man. Why the hell are you shaking hands with me? Right? Or a warm bear hug, right? People attend conference together for 3 days together. By the time they depart on the third day, they become friends because they're in the same room for 3 days locked up, right? So they, without their intention, they give that warm hug and they pat each other's back. That conveys that, how much they became intimate, which is nice. It's good touch. Or a patronizing pat on the head, which the sports people do in the soccer game of cricket and all. Oh, the moment this guy takes a wicket or scores a goal, that's it. Like monkeys, they will be jumping up on each other and they will be, what I say, scratching their head, pulling by the hair and all that to express their joy. But you do that in the office space, they will call you a mad person. The other guy will slap you, right? Please don't. You need to understand the atmosphere and which place to do what. That's why I'm talking about touch a little bit, right? Or a controlling grip of the arm. Some people squeeze their hands and whatever. You don't have to have so much of grip. It conveys the other person that you are such a firm person. You are a hard nut to crack. That's the kind of message you are conveying. I gave you a few examples about touch, right? This is also non-verbal communication, right? Non-verbal, without any words. Expressions can convey, gestures can convey, touch can convey, and facial expressions can convey, body movements can convey, eye contacts can convey. These are all non-verbal expressions, and these are very powerful than the words. Sometimes using these non-verbal communications, you can get the entire audience attention. You can get the attention of your boss. You can get the attention of your wife. Wives can get the attention of their husbands. Yeah. And space, right? The space is the next sixth one, and seventh one, voice. We will cover these two and we will finish it off. Space. Have you ever felt uncomfortable during a conversation because the other person was standing too close? Watch out. Male, female, no, same gender, opposite gender, doesn't matter. Too close, it's not good. Somehow you will, some of the other person will feel that, have like 1 feet distance or something like that, right? Considerable distance where the other person should not feel your breath, right? Or feel the spit out of your face. We all, while we talk, some micro granular particles of spit fall, and some people feel absolutely disgusting. So you need to really watch out that, right? We all have a need for physical space for various reasons, although that need differs depending on the culture, the situation, and the closeness of the relationship. Some people are childhood friends, doesn't matter, right? They eat in the same plate, right? They share the same bed, not in another tents, but they're very close friends, and for those people it's okay. But those fall into the category or the weightage of only 1%. The remaining 99% happens to be your friends, colleagues, yeah, your son, your daughter, yeah, any kind of relationship. That space makes the other person very, very comfortable. So you can use physical space to communicate many different non-verbal messages, including signals of intimacy, affection, aggression, or dominance, anything. But if the space is not managed properly, all of these things will be defeated. So you need to be very careful. Okay. Lastly, with that, we will close. Voice. It's not just what you say. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Our next session will be about tone and modulation. I'm going to talk specifically about that. When you speak, other people read your voice in addition to listening to your words. Tone matters, right? Things they pay attention to include your timing, tone, pace, in what speed you speak, and how loudly you speak, and modulation. Some people talk in the same tone, whether whatever, sadness is an emotion or happiness is emotion, same tone. Hello, how are you? I got promotion. That next house, no, that person is dead, same tone. Right? Hey, I got my promotion, man. You know what happened? Actually, the other person is dead and gone. Tragic incident, man. I couldn't bear it. Hey, I got promotion. You know what? I've been waiting for such a long time. And see, the emotions which really will have to match your tone, your loudness, modulation, and inflection, right? All these things, and the sounds that convey understanding, such as ah, who, and all that, right? That expressions also matters in conjunction to the circumstance, right? And also the situation, and also the message what you're trying to convey. All this really matters. Now think about how your tone of voice can indicate sarcasm, anger, affection, confidence, all these things will go together with this called thing called as voice, right? So remember, these are the different types of non-verbal communication. Take a note. There are 7 types I spoke and briefed it to you. Why it is important is, as you sail along in life, you may not get time to learn all this. Now, this is your chance, and this is your opportunity where you can not only learn, but you can also teach others. You can apply these, your life will change and all that. So please pay attention to, say, how can I read body language? There are 3 tips I give, and with that I close. 3 tips, right? With that I close. Pay attention to inconsistencies, right? I have given you all the 7 types. I've given you certain ideas about gestures and stuff like that. When you start paying attention to this, you will learn how inconsistent you are and where you make mistakes. So correct it. That is the first step to improve. Second thing is, look at non-verbal communication signals as a group, right? Group it. For example, gestures can go hand in hand with eye contact, or eye contact can go hand in hand with the voice and the modulation. So it depends on the situation. It depends on what you want to convey, to whom you want to convey, how you want to convey, right? Third tip is, trust your instincts. Be confident when you talk. Don't dismiss your gut feelings. If you get the sense that someone isn't being honest, that something isn't adding up, or you may be picking up on a mismatch between verbal and non-verbal cues, don't get too much into that. But then you trust your instincts. What you are doing is for a fruitful purpose, and let me stick to it. All right, good. So I'm also wanting to give you a checklist or a homework. You can evaluate this checklist. This will be very interesting. Let me take one additional minute and I will tell you. Yeah, out of concern, I want to do this. Make a checklist of this and keep ticking it. Right, every day you might have gone through going through so many circumstances. Pick 1 or 2 circumstances and then start evaluating how did you perform. Right, evaluate your non-verbal signals. Number one is eye contact, about which we studied already. Number two is facial expression. Number three is tone of voice. Number four is posture and gesture, both, right? Number five is touch. And number six is intensity. Does the person seem flat, cool, disinterested, and all that? Based on your expression, you will be able to gauge it, no? And that intensity, that what impact you created on the other person. That is the sixth thing, right? And seventh is timing and place. Is there an easy flow of information back and forth? Do non-verbal responses come too quickly or too slowly? What pace did you talk? All that things, right? Timing, in what timing you spoke, in what pace you spoke. You can analyze this, right? Take one incident. See, whole day you might be going through so many circumstances. To evaluate all these things, it's not easy. But you can handpick 1 or 2 major incidents and you can start evaluating. That's how you learn. That's how you instill corrections in you, and you can, you will see that growth in your character. Lastly, sound, tone, modulation. Was it in sync with your pace, gesture, intensity, touch, all these things you can collaborate. All right, good. I hope it was a useful session. Please comment in the YouTube, subscribe to our channel, get access to all our videos, share it with your friends, relatives, teenage boys, teenage girls. You have any new topics that you need my help to prepare and present, please let me know. My pleasure to always help. And anything you want to comment personally, you want any kind of specific advice, please WhatsApp to 99022122152. God bless you. Stay tuned and stay safe. These are pandemic times. I really want you to take full attention of the protocols given to us by the government of India. God bless you.